Okay, here's a chart that's circulating right now. Everybody's talking about this. It's on Twitter, it's on YouTube, it's on every single platform, okay? The sales to new listings ratio in Toronto is 31%, the lowest that it's been in modern history, right? The only other time that it's been close to this low was in 2009, which is obviously after 2008, right? All these blue ones, this is a balanced market. The purple, that's a seller's market. That's a hot market. And then obviously these turquoise ones, this is a buyer's market. And we are currently in Toronto in the strongest buyer's market ever, right? In modern history. And people are losing their minds over this. Like, this is the crash we've been waiting for, right? This is it. It is here. And day of recording, no, Toronto hasn't crashed. I think it's down like 1% year over year or something like that. But this is something that this has crash potential. That's what I'll say. This is definitely, it's not looking good, right? I'll say that. And then if you look at BC, where I live, look at the new listings. It's just straight up in the sky. It's parabolic. This is the highest amount of new listings that we've seen again in 15 years. Obviously this chart doesn't go back further than that, but I'm willing to bet this is probably all-time highs for our real estate market. The amount of new listings that we currently have is at all-time high. And where does that leave us right now in the Fraser Valley? Well, we have 3,000 units listed, 3,170, and 1,000 sales. And when you actually divide these, you get a 34% sales to new listings ratio, which is almost as bad as Toronto. We are almost, getting into Toronto territory now with these numbers. And if I actually did this calculation yesterday, this would have been a lot worse because I think we actually jumped up about 200 sales overnight for whatever reason. So here's the thing, right? If you're a seller right now, you can't just be competitive with the other listings because there are so many of these listings now that you're likely going to have to, we call it shoot ahead of the running deer. You don't want to shoot where the deer currently is. You want to shoot where the deer is going, right? You can't just be competitive. You have to be priced aggressively. You have to be pricing to win and beat your competition, right? Meaning, whatever their price is, you're likely going to have to price it a little bit lower to get that sale, unless you have, this doesn't apply to absolutely everything. If you have a really special product where there isn't a lot of competition on the market or no competition, then you have more flexibility to try to price it a bit higher or whatever the case may be. But if you just have your run-of-the-mill, like 2-bedroom condo or something like that, you may want to consider shooting ahead of the running deer because with this much inventory coming to market, it looks like prices are going to go down. That's looks like what's going to happen here. Now, again, with this being said, it's very difficult for me to get on this platform and just tell you guys, market's going to crash. Market's going to crash. And if you buy real estate, you're an idiot. And you know what? Everything bad that ever happens to you, you deserve because you bought real estate. And the reason why it's difficult for me to do that is because you have to, I guess you don't have to. I like to take it back to fundamental investing thesis, right? What is that Warren Buffett quote? He's like, be fearful when others are greedy and be greedy when others are fearful. Right now, people are fearful, right? It is supposed to be darkest before dawn. Buying at a time, you're never supposed to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And that is usually the best time to buy an asset. And I'm not saying that it is because I cannot, this guy's a realtor. He's telling you to buy, right? This is what it is, right? Like here, as an example, I think I pulled this up. Meta, okay? Bro, I was buying Meta. I think I bought it at 88. So, okay, maybe I didn't buy it at 88. I thought I bought it at 88. If I did, then I apparently bought the wick of the candle, right? Because if the candle went lower than this, I might have bought the wick at 88, but it was somewhere close to 90. It might have been like $93 or something like that, right? At this time, do you think people were saying Meta's a good buy? No. Everybody was saying Meta's going to $50. It's $60. The metaverse is a complete failure. Mark Zuckerberg doesn't know what he's doing. Facebook is dead. It's going to get taken over by this and this. It was like peak fear, right? Everybody thought Meta was completely dead. And I myself was like, they might go bankrupt. I don't know what's going to happen with this, but I'm going to buy it because it's gone down this much and everybody's like completely shitting their pants, right? Bought it. And then I ended up stupidly selling it at like somewhere up here, like 270 or like 240 bucks or something like that. And then I just made some money on it. But then I recently bought back in again at like 600. So I'm up, 20% on it again. But regardless, the point I'm making here is that it's hard for me to come on here and just tell you guys, yeah, new listings are up, things look bad, market's going to crash, don't buy real estate. And the reason why is because we don't know what's going to happen. And typically when things look their worst is usually the best time to buy. And I think me coming on here and telling people not to buy has done just as much damage to people as somebody coming on YouTube and telling people to buy. Well, actually, in fact, I would say telling people not to buy has done significantly more damage than the inverse of that. Because think about how many people have gotten fudded out of buying real estate in the last 20 years. And look what it's done. The average homeowner has a net worth 40 times higher than the average renter. And think about in the last 40 years, how many times somebody was thinking about buying real estate and then a family or friend or brother or sister talked that person out of buying. And think about how much pain and suffering has been associated with that, right? And I'm not saying that that's going to happen if you don't buy real estate. I'm telling you why it's very difficult for me to come on here and just be like, yes, market's crashing, don't buy real estate. Because something could change. We don't know what could happen. Rates could go down to negative. Who knows what could happen, right? Something could come in and change the dynamic of the market. And then in 4 years, we're at higher prices again. And then, hey, this was the time to buy when everybody was completely scared out of their pants about what was currently happening right now. But as it stands right now, day of recording, if you're planning on selling in the next couple months, you have to be priced aggressively, right? I would definitely not recommend, in probably 9 out of 10 cases, that you try the higher price. I would recommend that you undercut your competitors and win and get the sale in most cases. And again, I'm not giving you advice. If you're under contract with a realtor, do not listen to me whatsoever. Listen to your realtor. They know your property. I haven't looked at your property. I don't know anything about your property. They know it a lot better than me. But as a blanket statement, that's kind of what I would be looking at doing if I had a home to sell right now, just based on the amount of inventory that's currently on the market. Now, if you do want to talk to me about buying or selling real estate, you can book a call using the link below. Otherwise, appreciate you for watching my content and supporting the channel. Like, subscribe. I'm that Agent Kelly, and I'm making moves to move you. Peace.